All right, guys, here we go again. It's another episode of Stock Market Review. Welcome. This is a beautiful Thursday. This was an interesting, interesting day today. The market was unusually calm. There was no broken structure or anything like that. We pretty much chopped up right in the middle, just consolidate the entire day. No big moves really happened. So the real question I'm asking myself is, are we really stabilizing before we make a push, or is this the calm before the storm? You know how sometimes when, for those of you guys who live in the South, whenever there's a hurricane coming, there's typically that little bit of a period where it seems like everything is so calm. The air is cool, um, almost like there's no wind. Maybe there's like a nice little cold breeze, and then you start seeing the steam get picked up. This is the feeling I'm sort of getting right now with the market. It was calm today. It was too calm for my liking. And I don't like when it's this calm, man. I like when we're moving from range to range, and right now it seems like we are right at the top of a range, and we're going to see that as we dive into it. But we are not making any decisive moves. So once again, no definitive move was made. Again, if you are here, welcome to the channel. I appreciate you guys being here. Just a reminder to remember, just like yesterday, again, guys, I want to thank you guys again. I see it. I see it. I really appreciate it. Make sure you like the live. Make sure you drop something for me. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a wave. Give me a anything, right? Anything, a fire emoji, anything you can get. That really helps me with the algorithm to get things pushed out. So I really appreciate it. Um, right before we get started, as you guys know, I have to give you guys that disclaimer. Nothing I say here is any suggestions for you guys to buy or hold or sell anything. What I am doing is go to the market and showing you guys what the market is telling me and what I am doing personally. What Coach Lord is doing personally. This is what I'm showing you guys. So just remember, trading carries a lot of risk, including loss of capital. I am not your personal financial advisor. So before you do anything, do your own due diligence. If you don't know what you're doing, make sure to contact a financial advisor to help you out. All right. So now that we get that whole thing out of the way, guys, it's time to get into it. This is an interesting one. All right. Right from the get go, we're gonna jump in the S&P 500. We're going to jump in the S&P 500. I see you guys again, Power Path, Gems. I see you guys. All you guys are always here every single night. Always know the first few people to actually get on the live. I really appreciate the love. I really appreciate it. Anybody else that's here, just a quick reminder to again make sure to like, subscribe if you're not subscribed yet. If you're watching this on replay, I don't forget about you guys either. I appreciate you guys watching. There's a few of you guys who always, I don't know, it's not telling me exactly the location, but it seems like you guys typically watch those videos on replay around the same time, around 3 a.m. in the morning. I do appreciate it. All right. Maybe you're in a different country, and if you are, I just want to say hello to you guys as well. All right. Looking at the spy, this is what we did today. This was a big nothing burger. All right. I was expecting either a squeeze up or at least go test that high or maybe a drop to that level. And we did neither. What we did was pretty much giving the doji. So, again, just like yesterday, nothing has changed. The market is too calm for me. And I'm going to show you guys what I am really seeing. Again, as of right now, since we cannot take this level, that means we are still in a what? We are still in a bear flag. As of right now, we are still in a bear flag. All right. That level has not been broken yet. We are still watching to wait and see what happens. If we can take this level here, we can say, okay, things have changed, or if we're gonna push down. All right. Now let's dig in just so we can see everything that is going on very, very, very clearly. Now, while we are still doing a bear flag, there are some there's a little bit of hope for you guys for the Bulls. The Bulls are defending right now. They are struggling. But they are trying their best to defend. I would say if we're putting a percentage on it, I would say right now as far as control, It's like a tug of war going on right now. So it's like the Bears have a slight edge, but the Bulls are fighting. Man, they are fighting for their lives. It's interesting when you look at that. Why? So right now, there's one thing you guys have to keep in mind, right? We have this trend line. So now we have a wedge right here. This is the 4 hour time frame. All right, because I removed the 4 hours, so some of you guys may not see, you may not see it. Right here, you can see it, but in case you're not paying attention to see that, this is the 4 hours. We now once again have another wedge. Wait, I have to bring that down. There you go. Perfect. So we have a wedge pattern. This will break to go one way. Is that going to happen tomorrow? I don't know. CPI may have something to say about that. I think CPI either going to make a squeeze or we going to drop. And if not, one thing you guys have to remember. Now, since this is not something that has to do with the technicals, but this is something so more like an update I need to give you guys. So tomorrow we have CPI data coming. All right, CPI data typically is make the market moves a lot, and that's something that will happen at 8:30 in the morning. So that's at 8:30 Eastern time. Those data points will drop. If you hold options, there's nothing you can do about it. You cannot buy, you cannot sell, you cannot do anything. You cannot get out of any positions. You cannot put on any positions at 8:30 in the morning Eastern time. Or if you're holding any options. Now, the second thing to think about that, right? We seeing if you watch the news at all, a lot of people are saying we are within hours, maybe days away of a strike on Iran or Iran, depending on how you want to spell it. Pronounce it. So if that happens, if we have destabilization in the Middle East, and those guys close the Strait of Hormuz, we are in a lot of trouble. So make sure we cannot completely trade completely in a vacuum, right? While we focus, I keep telling you guys that while we focus on the technicals is our guide. But sometimes when you stuck, specifically when you're stuck in certain areas with a lot of consolidation, a lot of times what actually gets us out of those areas, either on the way up or on the way down, is a catalyst. So that's two catalysts that we have to make sure we look for. Personally, because tomorrow's Friday, I may not do a live. I'm trying to find a way to incorporate that, but I may not do one. But personally, I just want to let you guys know, going into the weekend, I will be putting hedge on going into the weekend. All right, just in case something breaks out over the weekend, I am protected. This is what, again, this is what I'm doing. This is not me telling you to do anything. I cannot tell you guys what to do, but personally, that is something that I will do. I will hedge my portfolio going into the weekend because of the nature of the geopolitical issues that's going on, and that would be a massive, massive market moving event. All right, now let's get right back into the chart. If you just joining as you guys are trickling in, make sure to like the video, drop me something in the chat. I want to see some engagement because the engagements really help, and I do appreciate you guys engaging with the content. If you have any questions, I'm more than happy also to answer it. So you can either drop me something in the chat, or if you have a question, just ask me a question or just say hi. You know what I mean? I would really appreciate that because that really helps me with the algorithm. Okay, going back into the chart, you guys can see that. I'm gonna do my best to make sure I don't keep on talking and not switching over the chart for you guys today. All right. So that wedge pattern right now is closing in. Right. So that means at some point we gotta either break above or break below. Right. That has to happen. Now, when we break below, we're going to have to contend with this bit of area here, which is structural support. If we do that, all right. Now here's the thing. While so far the market still have on a macro level, we still have a head and shoulder pattern still in play. But on a micro level, if you go a little dig in just a little bit, we have a trend line that is using being used as support level. Look at that. We bounced here, we came here, we bounced there, we pierced it, but closed above it, and you can see that all these candles stayed above it. This one also came to touch it, and we're pushing right back up once again. But on for this one, you can see the exact same thing is happening. Right there got pushed down. We came to test it here, got pushed down. So once we, this is all we have left. Now, is that going to resolve itself by tomorrow, or do we need until Monday or whatever? You just never know. All right, you just never know. Some of them will go all the way to the end before they make a move, and some break out a little early. All right. So this is what I am looking at. Let's go into 2 hours and see what we're doing. 2 hour time frame. Okay, the 2 hours is a little bit. I would say that's a bit mixed, right? While we are not, we did make a higher low right there. You guys can see it. That's a higher low, but we are not going any higher. We're not making a higher high, right? We are instead we're making higher lows, and we are also making lower highs, right? That's a lower high here. That's a higher low, but we are not squeezing any higher. So that means when things like that happen, we are getting ready for a move. Now, if you look at this, this seems like it's trying to actually curve up. That's the MACD. The MACD is looking like it's trying to curve up. Can we get that move? The overnight market is going to resolve that. This is what I don't like about what I'm seeing right now. Right now, during the Asia session, the market overnight is actually squeezing up. And typically, when this happens, the squeeze happen overnight to the upside. So once that's already done, if we don't have some news that comes in, maybe we were gapped up. That means the only other way left to go is down. All right, so that's what I don't like about it. But if we're looking at the MACD is not too bad. We have a higher low, so we have bullish divergence, and right here it seems like we are making another higher low in the MACD. But if you're looking at the price action, you're looking at the patterns here, the candles right here. We are not doing very much. Warden, I see you, man. Thanks for that engagement. I appreciate it. For any of you guys that's here, once again, I'm not asking you guys for much, right? Just say hello. Let me know you here. Just say hello. You can just put the acronym of where you're watching from. Would love to know. Or you can just give me a thumbs up or anything, because those engagements are very, very important. They really help the channel. They help the videos get more views, because obviously it tells the algorithm that people are interested in the content, and it's not bots that I have watching those videos. So I really appreciate that. Digging a little deeper on the 30 minutes time frame. Let's go in the 30 minutes. 30 minutes is doing what? So this is what's interesting in the 30. The 30 is showing us that, hey, you know what? Remember yesterday when I talked to you guys yesterday, I said, hey, this was pretty clear. We just did a head and shoulder pattern, right? And then what did we do? So we were going down. I told you guys that. I told you guys exactly what I'm seeing. This is what I mean when I say the market candlestick pattern. Those candlesticks, those charts. This is the language of the stock market. The stock market is letting you know what it's going to do, or the higher probability, right? It's letting you know, hey, this is the highest probability for this for that's going to happen next. That's how I predict those things, right? This is how I predict them. I showed you guys. I said, hey, this is what I'm looking at, and what did we have exactly today? We had exactly that, a move down, and again, you had this. I had whatever for you guys. This is the neckline. So we did exactly that, and that move is complete. Now, this is the thing. This is the interesting thing, right? What exactly are you guys seeing here right now? If you are looking at that, this is what you are looking at right now. Right now, you are looking at an inverted head and shoulder pattern, right? But this is the difference. Remember when I always tell you guys, it's not just about where the pattern is being formed. What pattern is being formed is where is that pattern is being formed. So while we are doing that bit of inverted head and shoulder pattern, we are also right at resistance levels. So can that actually get the squeeze needed? I don't know. I wouldn't bet on this going any higher than here until it has shown me otherwise. Because I really, everyone who knows me, for you guys that has been here, you guys can see every single chart I have up. What is one of the first thing I'm looking for? I'm looking for the trend lines, right? So I really, really, really respect and love trading with trend lines. So because that trend line is so close, it's right here, it's so close. I didn't buy anything to go up. I didn't buy anything to go down because there's not much move. I'm just staying back and just waiting to see what exactly is going on right now. I'm just gonna let the price action sort itself out. But I believe once we get out of one of those, but on the downside, we still have to contend with this. But on the upside, if we can gap tomorrow because we have good data from CPI, from the CPI numbers, we might squeeze once again all the way up here. All right, because if you look at all this level here, there's not much resistance. There's a little bit of resistance. Yeah, I guess you can say right around 691. We right now at 685, 691. All right. And looking at the MACD is telling us what? We might get a squeeze up. All right. But then again, this is why you have to take every single thing into consideration. We take everything into consideration. When you look at that, say, yeah, we might get that squeeze, but all right. But if you look at exactly what this looks like right now, where we are at strong resistance level. So first of all, we have an horizontal resistance line right there. That's horizontal. Plus we have the trend line going down. And if I go on the daily, again, you guys can see that exactly on the daily time frame. Okay. This is the only place where you get joint information like this. I appreciate that, man. I really appreciate that. What I do here is just complete breakdown. I'm not giving you guys my opinion or how I feel about things or whether I think something's going to go up. I'm just translating the chart. I appreciate that comment, man. Thanks a lot. And again, if you're looking at that, this is the yeah, this is the daily. That's the daily time frame. If you're looking at that on the daily, that's where we are. That's what we're looking at. Let me just remove those. If I remove that, you guys can see it. We right at that strong resistance level. Now, this is a doji, right? So what's more likely to happen if I had to make a decision tomorrow? I would say most likely we're gonna have a down day, right? But then again, there's a trump card, which would be a good CPI data. But how effective is that CPI data going to be? I don't really know because we just had the FOMC meeting this past Wednesday. So this data that coming in is not going to have much effect on what exactly is going to happen because there will be more CPI data coming out before the next meeting because the Fed's not going to come in and say, you know what, now that this data's out, we're just going to come in and do an emergency cut. If they do that, the only time the Fed will do an emergency rate cut is if the economy is in real world trouble. So if that happens, the market would actually probably go down because that would let us know the economy is not as strong as people led to believe, and we are struggling. All right. Now that was the SPY, which I know most of you guys trade. I wanna go once again and go in the Qs. We go in the queues and the queues. All of those are we still having like inside candles. That just inside candles. Nothing really is happening here. I mean, yeah, we dropped a bit, and we just came right down to that support line. Actually, that should be a little slightly higher. Yeah, we dropped right down to that support line. Again, these are like strong, strong levels. So we're being sandwiched right between those levels. But as of right now, I'm not getting much confidence based on what's happening. I'm not getting the confidence to say we're going to get the squeeze right now. Again, we would have to take this level, then we would have to take that level for me to see we can squeeze. And what I was, we were the other option was a double bottom. Double bottoms typically do not consolidate. When you have a sharp drop, most of the time, when you have a drop like that, right? Hold on, let me get some space to do that so you guys can see. When we have a drop like that, and then we start doing this, all of that is just consolidation for eventually another drop. That's a bear flag. All right, that is a bear flag. So this is what we're doing right now. Again, it may cancel out. You constantly have to remember the market can change direction with new information, right? It can either new information or maybe a couple of institutions decided they have some whatever they decided to put money in the market, and you can see a squeeze happen real quick. Going in the 4 hours, I think this is going to be very similar once again to the SPY. Actually, this is worse than the SPY. I'm looking at that in the SPY at least showed us there was some rising tides around. This is looking more like we squeezed up and we dropped down. We're doing a smaller bear flag here, but it would be the same principle. Find your trend lines. All right, find the trend line, and I'll find this here and we have another wedge right there that needs to be to get sorted out for either a squeeze up or a squeeze down. And the big issue with the Qs is the skews is being sandwiched between some very strong structural levels, strong structural resistance, strong structural support. What are we going to do at that point? I think we're going to need a catalyst that can really give us a big boost. Most likely something like a gap up or a gap down. Either way, I think one of these things that's what's gonna give us have that push. Now let's check the VIX. The VIX in the 4 hours actually that's not bad. We actually closed below the resistance level. That's not bad for us. If you are bullish in the 4 hours, looking at again, but this is the problem. If you're just taking those two candles, right? If we're just taking those two candles, you would say what? You can say this is a bit of an engulfing pattern, right? And we almost really got we avoid disaster because if we close up there, that would give us more like a morning star on the VIX, but we didn't get that. So we still below, and the VIX has its own wedge. It's trying to resolve. Let's go in the 4 hours. That the last part of the day really helped because we were actually curling up, and that's what to me had spelled really bad news. We were curling up, and the last 4 hours really push us down and really negate that move. So that was good to see. Looking at the 2 hour time frame, the 2 hours right now on the VIX is still giving us a head and shoulder pattern. This is what I'm still looking at, right? Head and shoulder pattern, that's the macro pattern. But on the micro pattern, you could say, hey, if we're looking at this right here, this is the right there, last three candles, this is an evening star. All right, so we should get pushed down, but then again, it's where exactly is that happening? That's happening right inside of an inverted head and shoulder pattern. So, how much stock can we put into this? Not much, not very much. Um, Looking at the 30 minutes, this is the best indication that we have that we might have some possible squeeze because the 30 minutes actually have curled down. And if we're looking at this high and this high, this is a bearish divergence. All right, this is a bearish divergence. This is what we're looking at right now. And on the 30 minutes, once again, You guys can see we try to break out of this level, came and tested. We did a double top, and we got pushed down. All right, so that's good to see. So we might have a green day tomorrow. We might, maybe the data's very good, but if the data comes out and it's not very good, I think we're going to squeeze up. I think that's what's gonna happen. We're gonna have a squeeze up. All right. Let me see if there's a is the trend line right here. Okay, right now we are near the trend line. Yep, there you go. Boom. Right now we are near the trend line, so we'll see. Are we going to pierce that to continue down, or is it something where we're going to bounce here and squeeze to go make a new high? Um, Now, if I want to take a quick look at the Mag 7, not doing anything. These are all things I covered yesterday, so I'm not gonna spend too much time on them. For those things I covered yesterday, just so you guys can see what's going on. All right. Um, where is the Bitcoin? There you go. Want to take a quick look at Bitcoin once again. I know a lot of you guys do trade Bitcoin. Just gonna check that. Taking a look at Bitcoin, not much. Bitcoin still dead money. Still dead money. All right. Ether, dead money, same thing. No moves is being made, none whatsoever. All right. Okay. We're still having nothing here. Let me take a quick look at gold, see what gold is currently doing. I may stop reviewing gold with you guys because this is ridiculous. This is like that. That's not a chart we can read. There's no patterns here. There's no nothing. This is just like ridiculous. That's just ridiculous. We just gap up, gap down every single day. All right. Now the Dow has been. This is what's worrying, right? That is worrying to me. The Dow has been one of the stronger parts of this recent rally, right? And what I'm seeing right now, look how perfect that is in the Dow. Boom, boom, right there. We have in a head and shoulder pattern being formed in the DIA. That's the Dow, right? That's the Dow Jones. We have in that's happening. Let me go on the weekly so you guys could see where we are. That resistance line, this did it all the way back to 2020. If you take 2020 and we connect 2020 to this low, and you can see how it's sort of like pretty much respected every single time, cannot take it. Finally, it broke above just a little bit. What did it do after it broke above? It got pulled right back down. Every single time it went above this line, since we broke down, since we broke below it, every time we try to pop above, it pulls it right back down. That's what we are dealing with right now. That's what we're dealing with right now. So that's the problem, personally, that I have with the Dow Jones, and that's the weekly. So that means the fact that we are way up there once again. What is the path of least resistance? I keep telling you guys that every single time. The market like to choose the path of least resistance. Where is the path of least resistance? From here, what did we do? We push down every single time. It's a push down, right? Now let me zoom in so you guys see. This is the weekly, by the way. This is the weekly, and you guys can see exactly what's happening. We got rejected. The previous week, 2 weeks ago, we tried to push out. Last week we got rejected, and this week, what are we doing? We go when we testing that we tested the level once again, and we're getting rejected again. All right, now how low can this go? I don't know. I do not know, but right now, this is what I would put as far as our bit of a neckline. Now if we lose this level, it's watch out. All right, and if you want to be more conservative, you could give it all the way down to here for the neckline. All right, so that means the Dow might just come to check that right there. Now, here's another thing. What are you seeing here? This is bearish divergence, right? The MACD is telling you there's no momentum. We just made a new high right here, right? Right in there. We just made a new high. Look at what the MACD got to. From back here, from this high, the MACD was way up there, and from this high, the MACD still couldn't make it. So that's a bearish divergence. All right, we're getting bearish divergence, and that is the DIA. So that is not very good, and this is really the kind of stocks that's really drive the economy. These are the stocks that's in the Dow Jones. All right. The next one I want to take a quick look at also is the IWM. That's the small cap for IWM. IWM once again, everything is right up there, man. Everything. Look at that. When this move happened, this is what I was showing people. Hey, we're going to squeeze in the IWM. Take a look at that. We're gonna squeeze. I did the inverted shoulder pattern. That was way back. This is where we were, right? And you guys know when you see this, when I have this on the chart, right? When I have this, that means I'm expecting a move up. And since we've done that, since I did that, let's see what we did. We push up 18%. This was from 225 all the way up to a high of 270. That's a 50-point move. All right. And again, every single time we had drops, I was making those lines and say, hey, this is a level to buy. This is a level to buy. This is a level to buy. But right now, I'm being cautious. All right. Let me just try something to clean the chart so you guys can see it. Again, a head and shoulder pattern does not have to be perfect. All right. By this is what I mean by that. You can use this and that and this. It does not have to be perfectly aligned like a horizontal line. It does not have to be like that. You just have to have those levels. That's how that works. Or if you don't want to use that, what are we seeing here? Everybody should be able to see this pattern. This is doing a double top with a lower high. All right, that's what we have here. Again, those moves can get negated and whatever, but as of right now, this is what I am looking at. This is what I'm seeing. All right. But anyway, guys, thanks again, guys, for joining me again for another stock market review. I hope when you guys show up here that you can learn something. One way for me to know that you guys are taking some stuff in is when you ask questions. I haven't seen any questions today, so if you have any questions, right now is the time to ask, and whatever. And I do see the lights was up for me, so I really appreciate that. If you can share the video, I would really appreciate that. I know some of you guys have talked to me about maybe incorporating the lives on Facebook and other platforms. Unfortunately, those software I'm trying to use, every single time I launch those software, for whatever reason, they are crashing every single time. So the live is giving issues. So this is why I haven't included those lives on those platforms yet. But these things are coming. All right, these things are coming. They are coming. And I want to remind you guys once again, Apex have 90% off. So if you want to trade with prop firm again, it's that's what is called, I think it's OMP, OPM, OPM. That's the thing they say. Other people's money. It's best to trade and lose other people's money. If you take a $20 account, you don't pass it, you lost $20. All right. Lesson learned is $20. I'm not saying $20 is nothing, but $20 is not $1,000. All right. So you take that. You can take the evaluation. If you pass the evaluation, then you pay for the activation. All right. The code is POP. Just like I have you guys, follow the process, process over profit. The code is POP for 90% on Apex right now. Promotion is live for the next 4 days, I believe. For the next I think for the next 4 days or next 5 days, this promotion is live. If you want a 300K account, that's $40. Those accounts are typically around $400. It is now at $40. At $40. All right. So anyway, guys, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. You guys know how to film me. If you watch this on replay, just a reminder that the link to the community is on at the bottom of the video. You can click on that link if you're looking to learn to trade and whatever. So that way you can start making preparation for how and when you want to retire. I encourage you guys to do that as well. Trading as one thing I want to say to you guys also is how trading has completely changed my life. By that I mean I don't mind working, right? I don't mind working. I work hard, but one of the things that I realized, I don't know if it was just me that had bad luck. Every single company that I work for, almost every single one, was either bought out, went through an acquisition, or the original owner passed away. And as soon as new management comes along, the first thing they try to do, right? My job was sales, right? I'm doing meetings, I'm doing deals and whatever, so I earn extra commission on those. Every single company did one thing. They reduced the amount of money. They made it harder for us to make commission. Not only making it harder, but they also paid less commission. Now, you can't fight it. That's just what it is. And I felt like for the way that I work, I needed to work for myself. And that's one of the reasons I started really trading. I have been now, I'm not going to say I retired, but I'm going to say I left corporate. I left corporate America a couple of years ago, and I've been trading ever since. That's how I earn my living. That's what I do every single day. And it's probably one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life because one thing that you realize, I'll be honest with you guys, you might think this is weird. On Monday, I was miserable on Monday. I wasn't miserable on Monday because it was just a bad day. I was somewhat miserable because I couldn't work. Trading is my job and I love trading. So you see how when you sometimes you dread going to the office, you dread going to work, but when you trading and you're doing something you're passionate about, and you know it's all your effort, it's whatever effort I put in. Eventually, this is what's going to happen. I just need to keep at it. I just need to keep working and whatever and this and that. All right. So if you do that, you're going to be okay. And that's why I was a little sad. I'm like, man, I really want to trade. I wanted to work because I love what I do and I'm passionate about it. Now, if you really, I don't want you guys to just get into trading just for the money. If you really want to be great, there's money to be made in trading, don't get me wrong. But if you really want to be great at trading, you need to be willing and be ready to sacrifice. You have to journal, you have to review your trades, you have to constantly study, constantly. All right, you constantly trying to, improve your craft. Like, hey, maybe I need to tweak this. Maybe you are already profitable, but maybe you can be better. There's always room for improvement. All right, there's multiple strategies. I have looked at strategies I see people talked about and whatever. I try to see what it's about. I don't use them, but I still learn a new strategy and test it out just to see if it's a strategy that actually works. All right. And when you guys are doing that, if you decide to do that, please do that on a demo account. Do not test out a new strategy with real money. Do that on a demo account. All right. That being said, guys, again, I have to go. For those of you guys who are part of the community, I will be on Teams shortly. For those of you guys who are not, I will see you guys tomorrow. I think I may go live tomorrow morning, right after the CPI data, or before CPI. I will do that, but I also have a video dropping tomorrow. Tomorrow afternoon, there's a video dropping. I haven't dropped as many videos for you guys, so I will be doing that tomorrow. But tomorrow morning, I'm probably going to go live tomorrow morning after CPI before the open, just to see exactly what the market is and what's going on. Right. That being said, I wish you guys the best. I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Take care. Have a good night, and peace out.